You know, the funny thing is, we have courier services that make tons of money, and you have other courier services that don't make a lot of cash. And sometimes when we talk about people making multiple six digits in terms of revenue in this industry, some people are very surprised. You can actually make a lot of cash being a delivery driver. You can have a very successful courier service if you know how to do things the proper way. So in today's conversation, I want to explain to you a few things, a few hacks, a few tricks, a few tips that will help you actually bring your courier service to the next level. Okay. So here is the overview I want you to pay attention to. So if you want to actually succeed in this industry, reliability is number one. Reliability. You know, the whole thing is that, if you want your drivers, if you want your shippers, if you want your customers to really give you a business like crazy over and over and over, you got to be reliable, boss. You probably want your package not only to arrive on time but also safely, right? If you are a customer, for example, it's the same thing. If you are a courier, the customers want their package to arrive on time and safely. So it's really important that if you are going to set up a courier service, that you actually find a way to take full responsibility for a customer's package throughout the shipment journey. Okay, so this is really important. So reliability is really important. So what's going to happen here is that before a customer hires you, they will do research. They will actually do some due diligence over you. They will maybe Google your name, Google your company's name to make sure that you have good reviews on Google and whatnot. So it's really important to also pay attention to how you deliver, like what we call your delivery methods. How do you deliver the packages? Is it through a cargo van, a sprinter van, a box truck? So reliability is really, really important. Okay. And do you have a website, for example? Do you have a website whereby you are asking customers to leave feedback? So what are your reviews in general? So reliability is number one. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. We love having this kinds of conversation every now and then. And what I want to say here is that the reliability is the number one. The second thing you want to pay attention to is rush delivery. So if you want customers to actually appreciate your courier service, you have to offer rush delivery. It's very important. Okay. This is because customers are going to ask you, do you offer same day delivery? So make sure that you offer same day delivery. This is going to help you boost your revenue like crazy. The third thing I want you to really pay attention to is your experience. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's conversation. The topic, we're talking about how to set up a courier service that clients hire like crazy. Okay, how do you make money like crazy? So, number one, reliability. You got to be reliable. Number two, you have to offer rush delivery. You have to offer same day delivery. Number three, you need to always tout your experience. Do you have experience in your field? Do you have experience in your geography? Do you have experience when it comes to this specific type of shipments? What kind of, are you in a niche market? Are you hauling specific types of loads? Okay. You always want to tout that experience. So when we talk about experience, we're speaking about experience and expertise, boss. So do you have extensive knowledge about a specific type of loads? So if you do, you constantly want to talk about that. This is really important. You want to tell clients, hey, listen, here is why you want to ship with me. Here is why, because I do have the expertise, I do have the experience, okay? And it's like, if you don't talk about your business, nobody will do it for you. So, boss, what I'm saying here is what? What I'm saying is that you have to be able to inform your customers about the kind of assets you are bringing to the table, the kind of benefits you are bringing to the table, okay? So, so they have to actually have incentives to hire you. The fourth thing I want you to do, if you want to stand out vis-a-vis your competitors and make money like crazy, you want to use technology, boss. Technology. This is really important. Now, what I'm trying to say here is that when we talk about technology, people say, well, I don't have money to spend, blah, 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 blah. I ain't asking you to spend any money. But nowadays, you have free apps. You have free apps. You can download free apps for as a courier. You can download free apps onto your phone. You have apps for route optimization. You have apps for delivery management. You have a lot of apps, free apps that is, for customer notification. You have all kinds of apps. Actually, you even have apps that do everything, and those apps are free, boss. So I'm not asking you to spend $20 or $30 extra. No. So, but the thing is, you gotta incorporate technology into your gig. Okay, this is how you actually stand out. This is how you tell the customers that you are really good. And you have to get to a situation where you have to stand you have to stand out in the industry. Number 5, cost effectiveness. Oh, this is so important. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about how to set up a courier service that clients hire like crazy. Okay, now what does cost effectiveness really means? It means that you are providing, providing costs that are affordable. What I'm trying to say here is that I'm not asking you to engage in a race to the bottom, right? Trying to outcompete all the other players, all the other drivers in the industry. Don't do that. Don't do this. You're going to lose money, and this is not a good opportunity for you anyway. What I want you to do, however, is to think about the best way for you to make money consistently. Now, when we talk about being a courier service, you have 4 ways to actually monetize your services, okay? There are only 4 ways. We call it RPM, so you have a rate per mile, RPC, rate per contract, RPH, rate per hour, and you have RPL, rate per load. So those are the 4 ways you can actually monetize your services, okay? So the next time a customer calls you, ask yourself, am I going to quote him or her RPL, RPC, RPM, or RPH? You got to be really clear about that, boss. This is really important, okay? So cost effectiveness is an important element, an important criterion that will help you differentiate yourself as a courier service. Number 6, delivery cost. Now, delivery cost is really important. Now, this cost is different from the cost effectiveness. Why? Because the delivery cost has other costs. Okay, let me just break it down for you. See, when we talk about delivery cost, it really depends on the load. It depends on the time. Like, let's say if a customer were to hire you, let's say during the weekend, if the customer were to ask you to do OTR, let's say you live in New York and they want you to drive to Connecticut to actually haul some loads and just transport the load all the way to Connecticut or to Philly or to New Jersey, So this is what we call delivery costs. So you have other costs there that come in addition to the labor. So when we talk about delivery costs, we're talking about the labor. Of course, we talk about the like gas, maybe tolls, also the extra time. So make sure you are competitive on that front if you want to win more business. Another way to actually differentiate yourself in the industry, boss, is through accreditation. So this is really important. Now the thing is that, and this is actually very important if you actually haul some specific loads. For example, if you're doing anything in the legal industry, anything in the healthcare industry, if you're a medical courier service, for example, you need to actually comply with HIPAA, with OSHA regulations. Those are really important. And so you need to, if you want to stand out in the industry as an excellent courier service that clients hire like crazy, you need to actually have the proper certification, the proper accreditations. And even if you have awards, hey, listen, you want to tap those awards. You want to publish those awards. I'm not saying you want to brag, don't actually come like you're trying to brag your ass, whatever. No, it's not really the goal. The goal here is to listen, you working hard. You are working hard. You work real hard. And if you get rewards, you want to actually show the rewards because, hey, listen, you deserve them. Okay, it's not about you trying to brag, but it's just you trying to promote your businesses and make more money. And this is totally fine. It's totally fine. Okay, when you're out there working day and night, when you're working during the wee hours of the day, when you're working at 3 a.m, when you're driving, when you're doing your OTR at 3 a.m, you are working, you are busting your ass, and you need to reap the reward. So make sure that if you have the proper accreditations, you actually tell the clients that, so you can win some loads, especially if you are in a very competitive industry. Anything will help. Anything will help. Okay. And one thing I also, if you also have, let's say you also take some, if you have taken some courses, and because it's all about maintaining some standards and quality levels to receive certifications and accreditations, okay, in your industry, hey, listen, you want to mention that. So long story short, accreditation is really important. Accreditation will help you actually gain what you need, will help you gain the The knowledge you need will also gain the trust of your customers and will also boost your reliability as a courier service. Okay, so this is really, really, really important. So don't neglect that, and you want to constantly invest also in that part of things. I want to talk to you now about the package. Package is really important as well. Okay, so when we talk about packaging, we're speaking about your ability to deliver the customer shipment in a nice way. Now, let me just rephrase that, not in a nice way, but in an effective way. The thing is that you might want to have a courier service that has a strict but effective packaging rules. Okay, and if you want to impose restrictions, hey, listen, you do it. What I'm trying to say here is that customers will like you and will appreciate you and will respect you if you tell them beforehand a set of rules and conditions when it comes to their shipments. Okay, so are there any shipments you're not going to do? Do you have restrictions? Are there certain things that are off limits to you? You want to say it up front, and you want to be really clear about that, because the thing is, if you actually don't have limits and something were to happen, boss, this is really bad. Okay, and it's really important to understand that when we talk about delivery, accidents can happen and do happen. So you got to cover your ass. You got to protect yourself. Okay. I mean, I'm not talking about you saying, well, I have insurance. Something were to happen to me, I'll be fine. Listen, if you break your back, okay, insurance might take care of you, but you don't know how long it will take you to recover. It might take you 1 year. It might take you 10 years to recover. So protect yourself. Be safe out there. Okay. And you want to communicate to the customer your rules around safety. This is really important. And so when we talk about, certain packages, maybe you do not want to deliver certain packages. Maybe you want to have strict rules around handling certain packages. And the thing is, those restrictions may be around the type of goods that you don't want to haul, or the type of goods you will want to haul, but under certain conditions. It could also be the nature of the goods. It can also be the weight of the goods, because, hey, listen, you probably have a belt. You probably have a weight belt to kind of cover your back. But hey, listen, you might actually have a package that is so heavy that you will need to have the right tools to kind of carry it. What I'm trying to say here is that, you have to have a certain protocols around the packaging, around the hauling of certain loads, and be really clear that you communicate that upfront with the customer. If you do that, customer will appreciate it. They will appreciate the transparency, and they will hire you more and more and more. Number 9. I just spoke about it very, very quickly, but I want to really dig a little deeper. Weight is an important element. You need to actually have weight restrictions. Weight restrictions has a lot of how do I say this? Weight restrictions are really important, not just for you as a delivery driver, but also there are some medical and regulatory considerations to think about. First of all, you have OSHA. So OSHA means like Occupational Safety and Health Administration. It's basically a federal agency that basically takes care of everything regarding occupational safety. So if you are a courier service, especially if you hire drivers, let's say you are an owner operator, so you basically manage other drivers, make sure you're really clear about the weight, because if something were to happen and your drivers or you yourself get injured, I mean, obviously you can have a workers' compensation ticket. You can have workers' compensation take care of the harm. But again, it's all about the reputational issues here. It's all about how long it takes for the drivers to heal. So you don't want that. So it's really important to think about that. So, you want to have clear parcel weight limitations. So do you want to lean towards delivering large size packages, or do you want to focus on delivering lightweight packages? You have to choose. Okay. So pay attention to the weight limits that you want to communicate to the shipper. It's really important. So be sure to choose a company. Be sure to choose a shipper that can accommodate the kind of weight limits you have as a courier service. And one thing I want to say here is that you have to actually communicate this thing up front. So for example, you can put it on your website. You can also talk about it on your social media post. If you have a social media account, you can actually post it. But usually it's a lot better to put those things up front, because again, going back to what I said earlier, customers just they love it when a courier service is so transparent upfront about their working terms and conditions. They will respect you, they will appreciate the transparency, and they are more likely to work with you because they know you are organized. They know that you have thought about certain things beforehand, and it's just fantastic. The last thing I want you to do if you want to succeed as a courier service that clients hire like crazy is to take care of your insurance. Insurance is so important. I mean, insurance, when we talk about insurance, right, we're speaking about several layers of insurance, not just workers' compensation, not just insurance in terms of the vehicle you're driving, but also insurance as a business. Okay, you have errors and emissions. You do have a lot of insurance policies that actually will give you the appropriate coverage that you have, because that's the bottom line. The bottom line is for you, for your company, for your courier service to have the appropriate level of coverage. Okay, that's what you really need. During transit, remember, during transit, packages are susceptible to risks like theft, damage, or loss. So you need to ensure that you have the right type of insurance. Okay, so when a courier service has proper insurance covers, you will be able to make a claim in the event of the risk that I just mentioned to you. Okay, insurance cover will also be essential, especially when ordering high value items. Okay, this is really important. Do not underestimate that. And when we talk about insurance for your courier service, this is something that you have to periodically evaluate. In other words, you want to talk to your broker maybe once a year or once every 6 months to make sure you have the proper level of coverage. But this is actually based on the level of business that you are generating. Is also based also in terms of the types of loads that you haul, the types of customers you deal with, the type of niche you're in, and how your competitors are also playing the game. So, for example, if your competitors are getting a specific type of insurance, chances are you need to have that type of insurance too, because they know something you don't know about. So you constantly want to make sure that you are competitive. And when we talk about competitive, you're not just competing based on price. You're competing on other stuff. Okay, so this is important for you to really think about that. It's important for you to analyze how to do things properly. It's important to understand the criteria under which you are able to deliver. It's also important to understand that you're always going to have other players who are going to compete against you. But if you do the 10 things that I just mentioned to you, you're always going to be a winner. 9 times out of 10 or 8 times out of 10, you will be a successful courier service that clients love and hire like crazy. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, here is a recap. I just spoke to you about the 10 things that will help your courier service stand out and make your company be hired by clients like crazy. So number 1, we have a reliability. Number 2, we have rush delivery. Number 3, we have experience. Number 4, we have technology. Number 5, we have cost effectiveness. Number 6, we have delivery cost. Number 7, we have accreditation. Number 8, we have package. Number 9, we have weights. And number 10, we have insurance. Thank you so much for your attention. God bless you. I'll speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.